Today, I'd like to give you one more idea on how to make a colorful review of the year from your photos and videos. You could show this review at Christmas or at a New Year's Eve party, or send it as a video. There'll also be a downloadable template in the VIP club. You can copy the example in Video Vision and Stages, and in Photo Vision with some limitations. The setup is pretty simple. You create it once, copy it, and then just add your photos and videos and make small changes. The colorful look comes from the dynamic gradient in combination with the kaleidoscope effect. They're only available in Video Vision and Stages or the Light and Optics expansion pack. We also have a slightly transparent rectangle in the intro to make the text easier to read. There's also an arrow in the movement track wobble effect and a caption as a decoration. This intro then served as a template for all the other months. The photos and videos are all included during the months. You can pick the number of photos and videos you like. Then we see our kaleidoscope background here. We've used a motion track to shrink it so we can use it as text backing. This color gradient is also nicely animated now because of the kaleidoscope effect. And then there's the text object that shows the month, and that's exactly what the other objects look like. As a general rule, you only need to adjust the picture content and the month's caption. Finally, we've got the outro, which is basically the same as the intro, just with a different caption. And that's about it. Let's get started. I'm in Video Vision and we're kicking off with the intro, and that includes the gradient that's going to run through the entire project. My first color choice is a sunny yellow-orange. I've already saved these colors here in the palette. I'm going with a pink for my second color. Of course, you can choose other colors too. I'm removing the middle color stop. Up next is the kaleidoscope effect, which we'll use to animate the gradient. I'm dragging the kaleidoscope effect from the toolbox to the gradient. The kaleidoscope effect reflects and rotates our color gradient and continually shows different colored sections. Now let's take a look at the settings. I'm going to change the current values as follows. I'm setting Move Image Vertically to 50%. For Center Horizontal, I'm choosing 100%, and for Center Vertical, 0%. We're setting the rotation to 0 Hz, so we're not getting dizzy. And vertical scrolling is set to 0.5 Hz. And then I'll play it back right away. And then we can observe this repeated color change from orange to pink. That's our background for the intro. I'll pack that into a Flexico layer. It'll help us to copy later. And then into another Flexicollage for naming. Here I name that as an intro. Then we come to the title for the intro, and we can add some decoration as well. First, I look for the dynamic rectangle shape, which then underpins our labeling. I pull these into the outer Flexico layer. In other words, not into the collage of the kaleidoscope, but right underneath. And then I make the rectangle smaller in the Layout Designer so that it can be overlaid by our text afterward. Something like this. For the rectangle, you could also set a gradient with 2 colors. I'm not going to use a gradient, and I'll set the white to slightly transparent, because then you can still observe this color change in the background. Then comes the text object. I'll drag that under the rectangle, and then I'll enter my text in the properties. I use only capital letters throughout the project, so the text appears simple and eye-catching. I use black as the font color and a large font. With the selection frame, I can reposition the text. I also reduced the line spacing a bit. With this Fit Text icon, the text now fits into my selection box. I'll make it a bit larger because I want the text to protrude above and below the text background. This is something that will carry through the entire project as a small deviation from the norm and special eye catcher. Then an arrow for decoration. You can also choose something completely different, maybe something that corresponds to the theme of your show. I'll put the arrow in the track above the text object so the text is over the arrow if necessary. I'll rotate the arrow and place it right here. By clicking on the frame of the flexi collage, I can check the overall image. The decoration doesn't have to be white. You can just recolor it. You can do that in the image editor. Then I'll also choose a pink like I used in the background. Then we'll play it back right away. If it's too fast for you, you can increase the display time of the intro yourself, of course. You could also give the arrow a movement path wobble effect so that it rotates a bit. But other than that, the intro is finished and we're going to copy it to show the different months. I'll rename the copied flexi collage January right away so that the overview stays clear. Then I'm going to add a picture to the top track of the flexi collage. In the properties, I'll crop the picture and give it a special overlay. A push away overlay. 1 second for the duration, then it's back to the flexi collage. Now I'll mark the flexi collage for the kaleidoscope effect. The background would now cover my photo, but I don't want it as a background, so I'll shrink it. For the month label, to fill my selection frame completely with the background, I'm going to set the flexi collage to crop content and select crop aspect ratio at the bottom of the page. And then I can drag the color field here to match. The color field or the flexi collage gets a fade in so the color field appears effectively in the picture. I'll choose extend here. And since I select adjust from the left, I'm going to remove the alpha blending. And for the duration, we can keep the 1.5 seconds here. Then back to January. The flexi collage here is done and the picture is also fine. We don't need the rectangle shape anymore, so we can remove it, and also the arrow. And I'm going to replace the text from the text board with my month name. Then I'll place it on my text field to match. I'll let this stick out a bit too. Here I'm going to center the text. And then I'm going to make another change to the text animation. The intro text should be displayed as a whole. For the month label, however, I want a fade in with individual letters. 5 characters at a time, a duration of 1 second. And there should be some movement, namely from the right. So later the color field will slide in from the left and the text will come from the right. So then I ensure there's an overlapping arrangement so that the intro's still present when the flexi collage or its content is displayed. For this, I need an overlap of 1 second and then I'll play it again immediately. After January should come February, so we're copying this flexi collage here and immediately ensuring the correct labeling and the correct arrangement in the timeline. I can also enter the spacing directly up here, then adjust the text object again, and then insert the photos or videos taken in February. If you want to insert a different photo, you can drag your new photo directly onto the old photo. All settings will then be adopted, including but not limited to the display, this pushing away, and of course you can have several favorite pictures from February. I'll also add a video here. With videos I also have to remember to set an overlay And just like with the photo, have it slide away with 1 second. Since the video is longer than my picture so far, I also adjust the duration of the gradient, or this colored bar, and the display time of the text. I'll remove the picture now and February would be finished. I'll copy it again for March. Here you could use January as a template if you want to put a photo, or February if you want to insert a video. That will save you some work. And once you've done that for all the months, then the yearly review is nearly finished because the outro is still missing. To do this, I'm again copying the intro and putting it back here at the end of the last month and adjusting the text content just once more. With that, your yearly review would be done and you can output it as a video, demonstrate it, or send it out. I hope you get through the new year healthily and will be spared from the cold. And if you like this video, I'd be happy to get a thumbs up. Thanks!